Hey everyone, and welcome back to Pokémon Insurgence. I hope everybody is staying happy, healthy, and safe. On the last part of Pokémon Insurgence, we actually finished off Tane's quest, which ended up giving us Zygarde, Zekrom, and Reshiram. Unfortunately, no Mewtwo or Kyurem, but we can deal with those later. We also then went on from there and we completed the quest for the Lati twins, so we now also have Latios and Latias. And we're going to continue on. We're going to handle a few more side quests, and we're also going to go ahead and grab us some more Legendaries. This should be the last part before we head into Holland. So get excited for that. But on this part, we're actually going to be dealing with Zygarde right here. So ignore the rest of my party. I have other things that I kind of plan on doing, but we haven't gotten there yet. But I have Zygarde here. I never talked much about Zygarde. So if you have... how should I put this? In order to teach Zygarde new moves, you need different Zygarde cores. And I'm not going to be showing off where all the cells are or where all the cores are because somebody else actually already has a video of that. They're called ShinyScarlet, and hopefully I'm linking this right here. They're another small content creator, and they're actually pretty awesome. So if you're looking to find all those cores and you need a video for it, there you go. It's actually really good. So I'm not really going to make my own because that one exists, and I think it's pretty good. But the different cores will actually give you different moves. So there's 5 different cores. One will give you Dragon Dance, one will give you Extreme Speed, one will give you 1000 Waves, one will give you 1000 Arrows, and the final will give you Core Enforcer. And to teach those, you would be going into your bag, going to the cube. I haven't collected them all, by the way, not yet, but you would use the Zygarde cube, and after it would tell you how many you have, it would offer you a move depending on which cores you have. Now, if you're wondering how to grab Zygarde, if you were to knock it out, that's easy. So there's a reason we started this episode here. And we're going to be heading into the Void Gauntlet right here. So we're going to be heading through the Pokemon Mansion. And this should be our last stop right here. We're going to end up in Nargex Forest. So if you remember, there is this Manaphy statue right here. We're going to heart swap to it. And from here, we're going to go to the left and go down. And we will end up in Terminus Cave. So this is actually isn't the Terminus Cave from Kalos, weirdly enough. The design is actually more familiar to the cave that you would find in the Alola region, which I find really, really cool. But here we have another Zygarde chillin', and I assume that if you knock out Zygarde at the Dragon Ruins, it would come back here and you could have another attempt at catching it. But also, this Zygarde's fragment will observe us expectantly, and it seems to be reacting to the Zygarde in our party. So we can reconfigure our Zygarde's form depending on how many cells we have. So I only have 10 cells, so I can only reconfigure it to this form right here, which is the 10% form. But that's pretty cool still. This is also my favorite form. The dog form is really, really cool. But if we want to, we could still reconfigure and go back to 50%. And then of course, once you have all the cells, you can reconfigure again, and that's honestly pretty cool. Also, there should be a hidden item up here. There should be a big nugget right here. The rest of the items in here are kind of junk, but there is an item at each end of the pathway. So you had the heavy ball right down there. I don't remember what is up on the left and down on the left. Oh, there's a max revive. That's actually not too bad. I think it might actually be only this path that's a scam. So we have a Zygarde cell down here, and we also have a potion. But that's pretty much it. So if you want to reconfigure your Zygarde, this is where you would go, and this is also where you would go if you needed to capture Zygarde still. So, from here on, we're going to be heading into Gaia Town, and we're actually going to be doing what we originally planned on doing in this part. Alright, so we're back here in Gaia Town, and we're going to begin a couple of bits of side content. Not all of them. We are still going to be leaving this man alone for quite a while. We'll be dealing with him much later. But for now, allow me to introduce you to the human calculator. Smartest person alive, apparently. And he will perform a calculation for us. So I'm going to go ahead and choose division. And I'm going to choose any number. You could choose whatever you want, you know. And then I'm going to divide it by 0. And my game is going to crash. So you can't see this, but I'll take a screenshot so I can put this up here later. And our game should crash. Upon reloading our game, we will be back here in Gaia Town, and this man right here will tell us, aha, your result is 0. So what was the purpose of that? Well, we're about to find out. We actually need to go to the Pika Taxi guy right over here. So we're going to be soaring through the skies for this. And perhaps I should correct myself, this is actually going to be the Amoga Taxi guy. I always forget that he takes that name, so we want to choose the Amoga or the soaring option right here. And we're going to be soaring, we're going to be heading sort of south and sort of to the east. So south and down to the right here. Hopefully we can find it. I think I've gone down far enough. Ah, here we go. So, another good way to know where you're at is to go from Slither Forest, which is where you would find the Delta Hydreigon. Well, not the Hydreigon, but its pre-evolution. And you will find this mess, this glitchy mess that's called Gaia Town. So, I'm going to try to land here. Not where the landing spot is. Alright, there we go. I don't know if there was a landing spot or if I just had to soar over a certain spot. But we'll find another glitchy mess. And right here we will find the glitchiest glitch of them all. I recommend saving right here. I don't know if I have enough balls, but that's fine. This is Missingno. Yeah, it's kind of a fan service. It's an actual Pokemon, and I believe you do actually need its Dex entry, which is kind of unfortunate. This thing is kind of hard to deal with, at least capturing it. And what I mean by that is it has the ability Glitch. So what Glitch does is it means that any physical move that touches this thing will actually make the opposing opponent faint. It's 100% guaranteed. Fortunately, this thing isn't too threatening, so we can just kind of throw balls, but we can't use anything like Ball Swipe on this, because we would lose our Ball Swiper. Alright, there we go. It took long enough. A glitch Pokemon used by some to duplicate items. However, over time, it has lost this ability. It's also flying in normal, which is actually a pretty amazing reference. Also, once we capture it, or if you defeat it, I assume, you would get kicked back over here to the real Gaia Town. So that's convenient. So there's still one more thing that I actually want to do here in Gaia Town, and it has something to do with the scientist over here by the pond. So I'm not sure if you remember the Delta Noivern little side quest, but this guy has a lot to do with it. You know, Celine City is a great place, especially, you know, below the lake. Just saying, don't worry about it. Oh, you've been. That's amazing. In the tower? You found the other Delta egg. That's fantastic. I've been waiting for so long. And the researcher who left all those notes all over the tower. So glad someone's finally found them. Listen, I've been doing so much research into Delta breeding, and I found something very interesting. When you meet me at the daycare, I'll show you something very cool. Alright, so if you remember, the daycare is actually over here in Gaia Town. And now that we have rock climb, we can instantly just rock climb down there and be over here at the daycare. Really, really nice. Thanks for coming. Hey Darren, I'm just going to show this kid around to our little project. Follow me, please. Alright. So we're just gonna follow him back here. Well, there is also a big mushroom back here. It's not much, but it's something. Okay, so listen. Here's the deal. I'm going to allow you to beta test our little experiment. It's been cooped up here for too long, and we need to make sure it can do what we made it for. But I gotta make sure you know what you're doing. Tell you what, the experiment is obviously a delta, but if you can tell me what species it was originally, I'll let you through. You should be able to figure out from the context what I'm studying, and so on. And it's going to be a Delta Ditto. Huh, not bad. Okay, I'll let you through. Please, just treat it nicely, okay? It's an experiment, but it is, you know, a living being. I couldn't have put it better myself. So back here we will have the Delta Ditto. I'm gonna drop a save in case anything bad happens to this poor creature. So happy! Look at it jumping up and down. I actually really like this Pokemon, and I wish it was useful for more than just breeding. I mean, just look at it. It just looks like a happy Jello square. Anyways, it has the ability Protean. Kind of useless. And it also learns various different moves that the original Ditto would not learn. It learns Mimic, it learns Me First, it learns Mirror Move, it learns Copycat, and even Metronome. But the real moves that it would actually learn that are interesting are the ones that it learns at start. Obviously it has Transform, but it also has a move called Morph. Morph basically functions the same as Transform, however, if a Delta species of this target exists, it will turn into that instead. So imagine if you send out a real Venusaur, an original Venusaur, and use Morph on it, suddenly your Delta Ditto turns into a Delta Venusaur instead of a regular Venusaur, which is pretty cool. There's also another cool move. It's called Retrograde, and it actually reverts Mega Evolved Pokemon back to their base form. This would be such a good move if Delta Ditto, well, if it didn't have the stats, but Ditto. But unfortunately it does. So I'm just going to throw a Delta Ball here, and hopefully this little guy will go in. Oh, don't do that. But look at that smile. Alright, you know what? I'm not going to waste your time. I'll come back when I capture it. Alright, there we go. It's a Delta species discovered by Echo the Third. When rearranging its cell structure to transform itself, it sometimes makes a mistake and becomes a different type. It's pretty cool. I like this thing. It's actually a really cool Pokemon. So because we now have the Delta Ditto, we can actually breed Delta Pokemon, which is really cool. And unfortunately, we can't go back there. Kind of makes me sad. But let me just go in my PC. I have to organize some things here anyways. So this is where I am keeping all of the legendary Pokemon captive. And as much as I think you're cute, you don't belong there. So with Delta Ditto, we can now go back and we can breed Pokemon like the Gardevoir or Gallade if you have them, or their pre-evolutions, and you can use this so you could evolve the branching evolution lines. I can also use this to breed something like Snorunt, so we could also get Frostlass and Glalie, which is pretty cool actually. I like that. So there's a good chance we'll be seeing Frostlass and Glalie sometime soon in the future, hopefully. Or at least we will be seeing them probably in the Battle Frontier. And speaking of the Battle Frontier, it's about time that we actually headed off there. So, we're going to be heading over to Gaea Town, which is right over here. And it's time to check out the Battle Frontier. If we head over to the right, we can go over here. Battle Frontier building is still in development. You can't enter until it's finished. Oh, yes we can. So if we come over to the tournament pathway, because we have rock climb, we can just climb up here and we can just sort of disregard the rules. They don't really apply to us. There's so much content in this place. This whole area in general kind of deserves its own video, at least for each of the different challenges and whatnot. But that doesn't mean we can't explore it and grab some free stuff. There's also a ton of vendors here. So literally every other NPC in different buildings is a vendor. So this vendor right here has the binding band and target ring. It's all the weather rocks, including the dark rock for sale, as well as a new rock called the trick rock, which extends the duration of trick room. It also has the bright powder if you're feeling a little bit scummy. Some big items here are going to be at the bottom though. We have the Eviolite, we have the assault vest, we have the safety goggles, I suppose, and we also have the weakness policy, which is obviously everyone's favorite probably. The fire breather below him is kind of rude. I like that though. He even placed a rope for us right there. So he's clearly very angry. There's also a Zygarde tail right there. Won't be pointing these out that often, but you know, when I see him I'll call him out. Inside here, I don't think there's anything going on, right? Ah, this is the gem seller. So she has every single gem, including the fairy gem, which is really amazing. I like that. I like that a lot. Over to the right again, we have the battle tower. So over here is going to be the single format for the battle tower, and over to the right is going to be the double format. So again, this is content for a different video. We'll be dealing with that a little bit later, unfortunately. Over here, I believe we have another seller. She has basically all the single type boosting items here. That's such a weird thing to say. But all these items here boost a single type, so they're kind of alright. Usually you can find something better. Also, actually, I think this guy gives us something. Oh, right, he gives us a fire gem, even though there's a gem seller literally way over to the left. That's fine. Over here is another battle facility. So this is the battle arena, and I'll probably end up explaining this a little bit more later on, but the battle arena is a really unique challenge. So it's 3v3 battles, and you can choose whether or not you want your Pokemon set at level 50, or if you want them to not be set at that level, and instead the opponent's levels will be based off of your highest level Pokemon. So for example, let me go into my party. For example here, I take in Mew, and say this Plusle, and this Venusaur. All my Pokemon that I fight against are going to be level 98, even though I have the Mew and the Plusle at much lower levels. It's not too bad though, because the fights here are judged off of a different set of criteria. Obviously you win if you knock out the opposing Pokemon, but there's other things that you're judged based on. For instance, you're judged based on mind, which is based on the concept of offensive style. And you get points based on the offensive moves you use, or if you use Protect, Detect, and Endure, you don't get points. They're also based off of the concept of skill, which is basically accuracy. If your move is used successful, then you get 2 points, and if it fails, or it misses, or if it's immune, or if you're paralyzed and it just doesn't work, then you lose points. And then finally, there's the concept of body, which basically judges each Pokemon at the end based on the amount of HP that they have. Again, if your opponent's knocked out, then it does not matter at all, but it's based on the HP ratios of each Pokemon in battle. And you win battles basically based off of that. So this is one of those challenges that it's actually easier to sort of win battles if you don't have a really competitive team. Anyway, speaking of not having competitive teams, if we talk to this hiker over here, he will want to trade Pokemon, and he has a Delta Minin that he wants to trade for a Plusle. So we have a Plusle right here. That's what they are here for. That's actually really adorable. I like that a lot. So let's just show that off. Even named Electron, that's cute. So it's Hiker Mask, their Ice Fairy. Really cool. And I believe their hidden ability is going to be Pixelate. And I say there because if we move over here... Where is he? Is it this hiker? Ah, there we go. There's another hiker over here that would like to trade a Delta Plusle for a Minin. So we have the Minin right here. Again, still pretty cute, but a little bit of a different typing. It's Fire Fairy, which is still pretty cool. Really like that. And again, I believe this one also has Pixelate for an ability. They're not that amazing because, you know, they have the stats of a Minin and a Plusle, and let's be honest, those are the worst of the Pika clones. There's really no doubt about it. But still, they exist. They are cute and they are nice. Also over here, we have the Battle Pyramid. This hiker has the most fantastic story. Sorry, but I've been ordered to keep anyone from entering the Battle Pyramid for the time being. Something about there being an insect infestation inside, I think. Some guy wearing a Team Rocket outfit came by earlier, laughing like a madman as he shouted something about how he'd get rid of all the bugs inside, even if he had to rebuild the whole facility from scratch. You might think I'm crazy. I think we can trust that guy to get the job done. Not immediately, of course, but probably a few months down the road. I'm sure you'll love it when it's finished. I like that. It sounds ridiculous, but it's actually a reference to one of the 4 Rocket Bros, which is one of the devs for the game, I'm pretty sure. I like that a lot. Alright, so in here we have the Battle Factory. I love the Battle Factory. It's been such a long time. So Doubles is kind of out of commission for the Battle Factory, but they do offer the single battle format. This is another battle format where you don't really need to have a good competitive team to win, because you don't use your team. You swap out Pokemon in this version. So that's really cool. I really like that. If we make our way up here... So this is the Challenge Championship, but in here they actually have berry sellers. So this is super exciting because right here we have all of the status healing berries right here. If we scroll down, we have the pinch healing berries, or those 50% HP. We also have different berries like the roll-up berry, the berries that increase your stats. So we have the Starf berry, which is random. We have the Lightshade berry, which is attack. Usually most people go for the Slack berry though. And the Lum berry, I have the Custap berry as well. Even have stuff like Key berries and Moronga berries. You don't really hear about Moronga berries that often. And over here we have all the berries that reduce the damage taken from super effective type attacks. So we have the Bari berry, we have the Yachi berry. Yachi berry is probably the most common. You would see it usually on things like dragons that would take 4 times damage from ice. But you have all of them here, so you could cover all of your weaknesses, which is really nice. And finally, we have the Challenge Championship. So I'm going to pretend that I don't know what I'm doing. What is that? The Challenge Championship is the greatest tournament the world has ever known. Powerful trainers from many different regions all over the world come to battle. In past years, we've had competitors like Sabrina from Kanto, Claire from Johto, and even Cynthia from Sinnoh. Every time you win a tournament, your rank changes as well. Before you win, you're simply known as a novice. As you win more and more, you'll get ranks such as Veteran and Master and special prizes. So we can check our rank and we can participate. It's really cool. I think the easiest way to compare this, or the easiest thing I could compare this to, would be the Pokemon World Tournament from Black and White 2. It's actually a lot of fun. I don't think this guy sells anything that's too great. Oh no, I was wrong. I forgot about this guy actually. So we have the Destiny Knot for easier breeding if you want that. You have the Macho Brace, but down here you have all the Mega Stones. So most of these become available in later side quests. For instance, we started off with the Delta Charizardite, right? And we got the Delta Venusaurite when we got the Delta Bulbasaur from Professor Sylvan. But we never really got either of the original ones, and we wouldn't be getting the Delta Blastoise Knight for quite some time. Also, there's the Eeveeite, which is so good. I'm buying this thing. There's definitely going to be a Delta Eevee showcase sometime soon, hopefully. I'm going to be honest, Delta Eevee was the Pokemon that I was originally rooting for to win the starter poll. It didn't happen though. Anyways, finally we have the Tube Challenge, which is right over here. This is the last challenge here. So we can't even take this. We don't have a 2 pass, and this guy will tell us. So if we try to take this, he will say, unfortunately, I cannot let you pass. A 2 permit is required to venture on. You can get one of those from the Challenge Championship, I think, on your first victory. Alright, so what is this? The Tube Challenge is a difficult challenge that involves facing all sorts of trainers. There are over a dozen trainers you need to face in battle. It's a gauntlet of sorts, and if you make it all the way through, you get to fight the Arena Master. Be warned, the Arena Master's never been defeated. Luckily for you, you get to heal and leave between battles, so it's totally up to you when you take it on. It won't make you do it all at once. So there's actually a really unique reward for beating this, so we'll be dealing with that a little bit later on. I have some pretty cool strategies that I want to show off, and some of them are kind of strategies that have always been used for the different battle facilities, and some of them are kind of unique to this game. Anyways, you know what else is cool? It's really cool actually. It's Kyurem. I mentioned it earlier, and we're going to be going and collecting it now. So we're actually going to be heading to the Victory Road, which is over here, and if you remember the Victory Road, then you probably remember which section it's likely going to be in. So the easier way is probably backtracking from the Pokemon League itself and going through the last section. The Rune section is just such an easy section to get through, if we're being honest. Alright, before that scientist so rudely interrupted me, we were going to be heading back to the frost part of the Victory Roads. So we're right over here. We're going to dodge this trainer right here just by walking behind her. And it is here in this section that we're going to find the Kyurem. So starting off from the backside, or from the end, or the exit, we're going to go ahead and go up. We're going to go right. By the way, you might have just seen Kyurem right down there. We're going to go down from here. We're going to go down 1 square. We're going to go up. We're going to go over and kind of just work our way down over here. And again, we're going to just sort of slowly be working our way around until we reach the middle platform. And look who's here! Doesn't he look kind of happy to see us? Also, there is a Zygarde Cell Core right over here if you want to get it. It's very easy to grab. You know, you just slide on over, you grab it, slide on back. So, yeah, here we are. Here is Kyurem. I'm going to go ahead and heal up. I'm going to waste that Max Revive, I think. I think it's at the bottom. Ah, there we go. So I'm just going to heal up Venusaur. Venusaur can tank this. I'm going to go ahead and save. Alright, here we go. Here is Kyurem. Oh, look at his little half wing. Oh, yeah. He's also level 110. Pretty scary, but also kind of expected. I mean, Tane was using this thing to kidnap Reshiram and Zekrom and whatnot, so it's kind of expected. It was like his ace Pokemon for a long time. So this is also why I stocked up on the Ancient Balls right up here. I spent so much time at the Sonata tracks. I spent all my money. I bought like 80 of them. And then I went back to the Sonata tracks. I had to earn money so I could train up some different Pokemon, things like that. It sort of happened. So thankfully, Mega Venusaur, or Delta Venusaur, is a really, really fat Pokemon. I don't know if I mentioned this, but when Black and White first came out, Kyurem scared me more when you found Kyurem in the chasm, in the Frosty Cave, all alone. Okay, that was pretty easy, but there was no real backstory for Kyurem at the time, aside from the fact that it would come out and it would eat children if you didn't go inside quick enough. And it actually scared me more than Giratina scared me in Platinum, which I think is saying a lot. So let's go. We caught ourselves a Kyurem, which is really nice. Actually, I'm just gonna try to go to the exit here, and we're gonna fly out. We have another goal here. We're going to be capturing a couple more legendaries, so I'm going to be flying here to Gaea Town. I actually really like Gaea Town at night. It looks really, really pretty with all the lights on. But we're going to be heading all the way over here and sort of up. Ah, there we are. So if we head up to these stairs, we should see this man in green. So we don't even have to walk up to him and talk to him. He already knows. Augur, oh thank goodness you're here. I made a huge mistake. It was a very bad goof up. I had to make a delivery for Professor Sylvan. It was a big old box I had to take from Telnor Town to here. I was curious though, what could be so important? I was told not to, but I took a peek in the old box. It was a glowing red and orange rock. I think it was the Magma Stone. Oh, I was surprised. The artifact from Sinnoh in my hands. I was so surprised, Mr. Augur, sir, that I dropped it, and it went rolling away. Right into the lava, into the volcano, straight down. It went sinking, and I was nervous, scared. The professor was going to be so mad. So I went looking for a fire type to try and fish it out. But then the mountain started rumbling. I didn't know what was happening. No siree. See, there it was again. And this one time, before it rumbled, I thought I saw two Pokemon fighting. Two scary looking Pokemon. Big ones. But you gotta help. You're the only one I know who can help, Mr. Augur, sir. There's lava everywhere now. I'm afraid it's gonna erupt. Gotta help. You just gotta find that stone. Alright, we will help this madman in his endeavors, but first I'm actually gonna go to the PC really quick. Alright, so I actually cut that out. I don't think you really wanted to see me sorting my PC, but I went back and I grabbed the Lilligant and I grabbed the Snorlax and I put everybody else away. So Venusaur is going to be in the front, mainly because Venusaur is really strong. It's got that high level, and I want to make sure that I repel up. Hopefully. Right, there we go. But I'm bringing Lilligant because it's actually a really cool Pokemon for what I wanted to do here. So it's got the Flash Fire. That's not what I want, actually. So I'm going to change that really quickly. We have the ability capsules somewhere in here. There we go. So I would like you to have Storm Drain. And this is for good reason. So if we head up here, we will see Volcanion and Heatran just going at it. I think that's really cool, and I don't know, it's really neat. They are both volcano Pokemon. Also, if we rock climb up here, we can actually grab Giga Impact. This is one of the reasons why we didn't come up here when we first got the hiking boots, because we would have to deal with this whole mess, or we could have put it off and it would have been awkward. But anyways, our goal here is going to be to head to the old cult base that's around here. It's been so long, I've already forgotten their name. That's kind of weird. Also, there's also a rock climb spot right up here. You can find Double Team right there. It's alright. I mean, if you want to get up to some scummy shenanigans, that's what you'd use. So over here in the old cold base, we'll actually find Heatran, and we should also find Volcanion. They'll just kind of be flashing in around here. So there is Heatran again. I assume that it is looking for its Magma Stone. It's not going to find it. Also, if you're wondering, there is no music in the background here for some reason. I'll probably have it edited in, but, you know, it doesn't exist. Anyways, we want to come all the way over here. So you'll see this big waterfall of lava. And conveniently placed to the right is a magma protection suit. So we're going to put that on. I don't know where Venusaur's suit is, but I assume he will be fine. Or actually she. So we'll enter through the magma, and eventually we'll be choiced with 4 different holes that we can fall down through to progress. I recommend going through this hole right here. They all eventually lead to the same spot, but I believe this hole will land you in a spot where you can grab the black glasses, and this one will land you in a spot where you can grab, I think it's a spell tag. This spot just gives you nothing. But if you land down here in this spot, you can actually grab a TM, and you can grab the TM for Trick Room. It's such a nice TM, especially now that we have access to the Trick Rock. So once you fall down through there, once you fall down through the second hole that you're going to fall down through, you'll land here. You should come down here no matter what, and you'll have access to a rare candy, and you'll also have access to an escape rope. Grab that escape rope. You need that escape rope. You could get trapped down here without that escape rope. I don't think I can make that any more clear. So eventually, you'll fall down here. Again, everybody should end up here at some point. And I believe there is another TM down here. Really good TM. Okay, that's the fire gem. I believe it should be up here. There we go. So there is the TM for Gyro Ball. Pretty good TM. Especially for certain Pokemon. There's also an X-Attack too right there. You could grab that and use it if you want. Our main goal is going to be to sort of head on over to the right. And over here we'll actually find an escape to this room. We won't need the flashlight anymore here, but we'll also need to do some Tesseract shenanigans, because as you can see, the way is blocked off by a very thin stream of lava. So we're going to come over here. We're going to go ahead and Tesseract right here. Go back into the past, and this time, this is very, very easy to do. There is going to be a statue, a Manaphy statue right over here. We're going to go ahead and Heart Swap, and we're going to guide the Manaphy statue over to the spot where the lava was going, or pouring. So it's very easy, and thankfully, there's not much in the room of error. Like, you could put it here, you could put it there, where I was standing, and it should still do exactly what you want it to do. So I'm going to go ahead and Tesseract back to the present, and would you look at that? Actually, it looks kind of nice. So next, we're just going to hop down all these ledges, and we're going to push all these boulders aside. Again, this is why you kind of, unfortunately, need an escape rope. Well, I guess you could push it like this, and I think you would be fine. But then again, I think it also resets. Yeah, it does reset. So, for instance, if we go in this room and we come back out, the boulders kind of reset and we're trapped. We can't leave unless we use an escape rope. Second guessing myself here. And in this room, we should find the Magma Stone. It's the Magma Stone that was dropped. Sure. You don't look like Heatran. Unfortunately, this is not Heatran, but it's something. So, we'll actually find Groudon. He's down here. He's a bit angry. So, we can actually capture Groudon and add him to our legendary collection, which is pretty cool. So we're getting so many legendaries taken care of. I think it's going to be 4 something legendaries in this part. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to weaken this Groudon just a little bit. That way his eruption doesn't do as much. I do a little bit more, but I don't want to knock it out. Maybe I'll set up a Calm Mind. That'll help a little bit. Thankfully, he can't do anything to us with Fissure, so we should be pretty good. I think his last move is going to be Hammer Arm as well, which we resist by 4 times, so we should be pretty good. So this might take a little bit, so I will likely get back to you as soon as I capture the Groudon. I'll give it 1 ball, see if we get lucky. Alright, there we go. Finally got him. And we didn't even take that much damage. So far, so good. So we have the Groudon right here. We could also give him the Crystal Piece, and we could have him undergo Primal Reversion, and we would get Primal Groudon, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. So he looks pretty happy. I'm going to make sure that Glory is in front right here. So what you want to do is you want to save right here before you exit or leave. And we're going to go ahead and escape rope out of here. If you have dig, you could also use that. So imagine if you don't have an escape rope and you have the TM for dig, you could use that, I imagine. Except I don't think that exists. And upon exiting, we will be greeted with these 2. For some reason they're making Hoopa noises. I'm not sure what's going on there. So what you're supposed to do here is you're supposed to pick one of these and capture the other. So for instance, say I am a super Volcanion fan, I would knock out the Heatran and we would grab Volcanion. Or suppose I really like Heatran, I would knock out Volcanion and we would grab Heatran. But for the purpose of the walkthrough, they're both going down. There's no way out of this. So I'm just going to drop an Earthquake right here. That Heatran is not going to stick around for long. There we go. Get out of here. So the reason I'm doing this is because you get a second chance to capture either one of these. And by knocking them both out, I'll make sure that I get a second chance to actually capture both of them. And I can show where each of them is going to run off to. Thankfully, we don't have to stick around here or do anything else here. So instead, we're going to be heading to the Cave of Steam for our first catch, which is going to be Volcanion. Alright, one little bit of an interjection before we actually head to the Cave of Steam and grab our Volcanion. I want to head here and I want to talk to this guy. I want to hand over the Magma Stone. Wow, I see. That was amazing. I don't know how y'all are able to do it. I'm so glad you're the new Augur. I actually had to say y'all. I'll finish up delivering this Magma Stone to the professor. Here, it's not much, but I'd like you to have it for helping me out. So you'll give us some max revive right there. Thank you again, sir. It's been an honor. I can't do that accent, I'm sorry. So that's pretty cool. He'll give us a max revive if we drop by and give him the Magma Stone. So he'll probably go off and deliver that to the professor. Alright, so here is our next stop. We're going to be here in Gaia Town, and we're going to be entering from the... Well, we're going to be entering the Cave of Steam from the Gaia Town side, and we're going to be surfing up over here. And we're going to be diving down here in this spot right here. So we're going to be following this long winding path right here, and eventually we should be surfacing right about here. If we continue on up here, eventually we'll find this little intersection, and we'll also find the Volcanion. So I'm just going to drop a safety save in case I accidentally kill this thing. And I'm actually going to put Lilligant in the front. I really like Lilligant for this. It's not too terribly bulky, but I believe this thing has Flare Blitz. So I want something that doesn't take a lot of damage from Volcanion. So I have the Storm Drain, so water type attacks don't affect me. And I have the water and fire typing, so I take like 1/4 of the damage from those attacks. And thankfully, it doesn't make Koopa noises this time. So we're going to go ahead and capture ourselves a Volcanion. I'm not sure what I should do here. Don't want a Thunderbolt, but you know what? I'm gonna cut this out. I'll catch you later when I capture this. Alright, there we go. We finally caught the Volcanion. So we got the Water Fire. Look at that Pokedex entry. I really like Volcanion. It's not that amazing competitively, but I did watch the movie with Volcanion and Magirnet in it, and it's kind of a heartthrob. It's pretty good. But we're not done capturing legendary Pokemon yet. We are going to be heading to the Fiery Caverns next and finding Heatran. So here in Gaea Town is where we're going to be finding the Fiery Caverns, which is right down here. It's been a while since we've been here, but I feel like this would have been your first thought to look for one of these Pokemon. Like, the Cave of Steam is actually the perfect location to find Volcanion in. It really is, but I feel like maybe not a lot of people would have thought to actually look there. I feel like a lot of people would have thought to look here, which is the place where you fought Zenith. So if we come all the way over here, you would find the Heatran. It's just kind of chilling back here. It's kind of weird, but that's fine. So I'm going to drop a safety save and go into battle with this thing. Again, no Hoopa Cries, thank you. Heatran is a lot stronger, but it's not really that big of a deal. Alright, there we go. We finally got the Heatran. So there we go, we got the data, got the footprint, all that. It's really nice. So I think our legendary hunt is going to have to halt for here. We've caught as many legendary Pokemon as we possibly can for the moment. I mean, we've done more than any cult could have possibly done at this point. Maybe we are the true cult. But anyways, I think we're going to end things here for now. The next part, we are heading to Holland. And, well, we're going to do other region stuff there. So thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, hope this helps, and I will most definitely catch you all on the next one. Peace.